We have been consulting with industry for a long time around our new proposed training model, our new approach to delivering and funding training for the sector. And the key message from that, from industry, was that they wanted to increase the standardisation and consistency of training within the sector. And the training standards are really critical to achieving that. I think the benefits of standardising training are greater visibility for the employer about what best practice training looks like. Obviously linked to that, there's a reduced duplication of training and obviously all of the costs associated with that. Greater clarity on what particular training is to be funded and what training providers have been approved against a particular training standard to deliver against that requirement. We've engaged extensively with industry on the training standard development so far. We've had over 500 responses to the consultation, really involving training providers, employers, federations, and a wide range of different areas from the sector. The initial development through to sign-off involves us identifying industry experts in each of the areas of training that we're looking to develop a standard in. We use those to help us draft the initial version of the standard. We've then used large-scale consultation through the website to engage a larger audience, as well as working with more specialist groups of key stakeholders in particular areas of specialist training to ensure that we've got the right people looking at the standards who are really kind of practitioners and experts in those areas. Really from the outset of the work, we were wanting to identify those standards which are most widely used across the sector so that we could focus our efforts there initially. We've now developed and approved 53 training standards. Those will now form the basis of the approval process with training organisations. We're anticipating many more training standards are going to be required in order to have full coverage across the sector. We're intending to undertake further development in a very much more managed way going forward. From our initial consultation, we think there's a need to engage groups of stakeholders to consider the training standards in a particular occupational area as a coherent set. So that's very much the way they're going to be working through them in future. And as part of that, we're in the process of setting up a number of industry working groups to consider the training standards required for the next phase. CITB are not looking through this to make changes for change's sake, really. We are only looking to develop training standards as a mechanism to identify what industry considers best practice training. So if that exists in another format elsewhere, the feedback that we've had from industry is that we very much should be recognising and signposting those arrangements rather than looking to replicate that with a CITB standard. Ultimately, better training means more skilled, more productive workforce and a construction industry that's better able to adapt and meet the future requirements. You can find out more information about the training standards on the CITB website.